Welcome from Munich, where we are at Sony with the Sony Xperia M4 Aqua. I almost forgot the name. There's so many Sony products here on the table. Z3 Compact, Z3, and for example also the BSP60 and all kinds of other nerdy stuff. And this is still a prototype, as you can see here with the sticker. I can't do a lot of things with it. I can do everything with it I would do in my regular reviews also, like for example, check out Lollipop, install a few apps as you can see like Temperon and other things. And it's really a slim device still. I totally forgot again since a few weeks ago when I had it in my hands in Barcelona how really light and slim this device is, with only 136 grams in lightness, 7.3 millimeter in thickness, which is really amazing. And for example, compared to an Apple iPhone 6, which has a smaller screen, 5-inch versus 4.7-inch, you can see there is not much of a difference in terms of size, and in thickness also not. But the Sony has actually a huge battery of 2400 milliamps for the 5 inches, which is, for example, compared to HTC Desire M9 or M8, again a lot, because they have usually around 2000 to 2500. Of course, there's a few devices like LG produces with up to 3000 milliamps on a relatively small screen, like 5.2 inches, but yeah, they are thicker also and not looking as neat as the Sony. One of the best things I like about the M4, which I wish will be also in the Z4, is micro USB completely open, even though it's waterproof. And of course, again, still the headphone jack is also still completely open with a microphone right next to it. Then we have here the nano SIM card slot, which is behind the little flap, but of course this one you won't probably open that often, so just put in your SIM card and then you close it up and then it's done forever. Then you have still your on and off switch on the side, volume rocker, dedicated camera button, which you can of course hold, and then the camera should turn on. I didn't press it before, I'm sorry. So here we have right away the camera running, or should have right away the camera running. As I said, it's still a prototype. I'm not sure why it's not going in. Maybe it's not set up yet properly. Then we have a speaker here, microphone, and on the other side still the micro SD card slot. So we have expansion slot for the 4 gigs, for the 8 gigs that are inside. Also here a great 5 megapixel camera on the front, which we can actually clean up now because we are going to show you the quality there also. And also here on the back the 13.1 megapixel camera with a flashlight, and of course also NFC. Now, a few people ask me if the glass is Gorilla Glass, or on the back maybe also on the front it's just a scratch-proof glass, maybe Gorilla Glass. Actually, in a few, for example, Z3s and Z3 Compacts, there were also a few with Gorilla, a few with just scratch-proof glass. It's usually quite good here by Sony. And on the back there's definitely just plastic, not real glass. Somewhere they have to cut costs, so maybe this will scratch easier, but I mean it's not that important because usually I have it in a case anyway. So on the front you might think dual speakers. No, I have shown you the speakers right here. This is actually just a microphone, and this is the speaker for when you're taking voice calls. And yeah, if you're going inside the device, you can see this is running quite quick thanks to 2 gigs of RAM and a Qualcomm Snapdragon 610 processor with 1.5 gigahertz 4 times and 1 gigahertz 4 times. So it's an octa-core processor with 64-bit. So that's also again quite quick. So Sony built a perfect mid-range smartphone here with maybe not the perfect size. Maybe there will be an M4 Aqua Mini coming out. I hope so, because a few people like a lot. For example, here the Z3 Compact with a 4.3 inches, but we will have a separate comparison video about that for you guys in just another video if you would want to see that. So again, let's check out some things like, for example, a short little check on the benchmark. Here you can see that we have 26,000 points, which would be in ranking, for example, somewhere above the Zenfone 5, below the HTC One of the first generation, I think, which is alright because those have about the same prices right now. The LG G3 is maybe a little bit more expensive right now, but yeah, this is just looking nice. Before we go into gaming, let's check out the software that's installed here. As you can see, not too much new. It's still everything by Sony, and it's everything in German. So let me just go here into the Android Lollipop, which I haven't even mentioned yet, 5.02 that's installed, and change the language here to English. This happens quite quickly. Here we go, and we say okay, and then we have it in English, and we can go ahead and browse around in everything that's happening here. Takes, of course, just a second to adjust. And then we have here already the camera, which I can open up for you guys. And then I think it will start with the front camera, exactly 5 megapixel, not autofocus, so I can't touch anywhere to focus, which is a little bit sad, but it has a great 88 degree angle autofocus here. And if we just would want to check out the specs of my camera, I just have to go a little bit closer, and then you can see here a little bit the specs. But otherwise, for example, for a selfie, it's alright if the light wouldn't come from the back. So it would be also maybe great to have a front LED or something like that, or maybe an autofocus 5 megapixel camera next time. But actually you can shoot HD pictures on the back, on the front, and full HD pictures on the back. And here we have it, a 30 megapixel camera, of course autofocus, so I can just want to focus there and take a picture of the third color of the M4 Aqua, which is called Coral. This is of course black, and then there's also white. And again, you have still the possibility to have your manual focus, manual settings, your other things that you have seen in the last few generations, and you have and you have downloadable content also, which is not available right now since, again, this is a prototype. But again, Lollipop 5.02 is running quite nicely on here with a few tiny little bugs. As you can see, for example, the apps that are open only appear when I touch the screen. Again, prototype, but still, as you can see, with anything else, it happens quite quickly. With the 2 gigs of RAM, it's fun. I can, for example, close up that buggy racing thing that I want to show you in a second, and tempo run. And I can still, for example, also open just a calculator here and just do my things here in the back also, and just have adding a few numbers here with the extra apps that Sony still installs on the bottom. And you can also still go to the Play Store and download a bunch, dozens, hundreds more of these little quick apps that can be shown in small little windows while you do other things. So that's of course quite good. So let me go out here again, and let's see what we have here else, not with the camera but with gaming. Gaming. Let's start with the buggy racing. That's a little bit more problematic for the processor and loading, but it still really loads quite quickly. Takes about 10 to 15 seconds, I think, and then we can go ahead and continue our tutorial. So for $299, while this is loading, I can tell you guys this is definitely as good as, for example, some Huawei products. I know these are full HD, the P7 and the Honor 6, for example, but they have a lot of plastic, they are thicker, and completely different idea of how you should, what you should buy. So I think this is a really neat product when it comes to slim, beautiful, and you don't want to spend that much money on the Z3 or the Z3 Compact, as I said, which we will have a comparison on in our next video. So this is the racing game. You can see graphics quite beautiful, loading didn't take that long, and we can, for example, now shoot here something, and you have also nice little animations, and we can just exit here again. So if I'm mentioning already the Z3, you can see Z3 versus Z3 Compact, exact same size almost. I think there's a millimeter or two maybe in height of a difference. And in thickness also, the M4 Aqua is slimmer. I would definitely say it's slimmer, 7 point something millimeters, 7.3 millimeters, feels slimmer, and this feels also heavier, but because probably we have glass on the front and the back, and of course also different cameras built in, and the dual speaker on the front of the Z3 is probably also better. So this is a short comparison, and I have shown you these guys in size and in thickness. The Compact is of course a little bit thicker, and yeah, this is just here, for example, black and coral. And yeah, I can show you, for example, the 5-inch Honor 6, a little bit smaller, a lot thicker, not waterproof, and white. Actually, this is also available in white, I just don't have it here. Then the P7 by Huawei will also come out soon with the P8. Also slim device, also relatively big battery, but still smaller than on the Sony, and again not waterproof. And if you guys don't believe me it's waterproof, let's just go again here. I have this little container so we can pour water into it. Let me open up the camera, and I haven't shown you a feature actually, which is available right here in the settings. Last one is touch block. I'm a professional because you guys know I love to shoot underwater while I'm in a swimming pool, so you can just put this inside a container here and dazzle some water over it. Here we go. As you can see, nothing happens, or it's not broken or anything. It's waterproof. I know this is not the deepest water. You could go up to 1.5 meters deep here, of course, but this is how you could use it underwater without having the screen activated. You can still shoot, for example, pictures here by pressing the shutter button, and then it's taking the picture, of course, for example, underwater. But yeah, it's quite hard to shoot now here with this little container. So you just have to clean it up afterwards. That's my fastest method here. If you guys were wondering anyhow why that cloth is there, and then to unlock it you just have to swipe, and then you have your phone back again above water, and everything is working perfectly. So actually there's not much else to show you guys. It's available for $2.99 soon. Thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you much for watching here the short little M4 Aqua review. Beautiful 5-inch HD smartphone. Definitely check it out also in the stores, maybe in a crazy color like coral like this. Till then, thank you much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.